again. Welcome back, dear listeners. I am so glad to see you all again. Today we are going to read another story, and the story title is Hesitation to Confidence. Arjun's story as confident speaker. We'll see how Arjun is gaining confidence as a speaker. Let's begin the story. Remember to note down the adjectives. Let me tell you the story of Arjun, a young man from a small village. He had always been quiet, more of an observer than a talker. He helped his father in the fields, spent time with his friends, and loved reading books in Hindi. But when it came to speaking in English, Arjun would freeze. The moment he had to speak in English, he felt uncomfortable and out of place. One day, Arjun's cousin from the city visited him. He spoke fluent English, full of confidence, and Arjun and told Arjun about all exciting things he was learning in his big city school. Arjun felt inspired but also nervous. He wondered if he could ever speak English as confidently as his cousin. His cousin noticed Arjun's hesitation and decided to give him a small tip that would change his life. Arjun, his cousin said, "You are smart and capable. You know how you can talk for hours in Hindi about all those stories and ideas you have. English is just another way of telling those stories. The only thing holding you back is the fear of making mistakes." "But what if people laugh at me?" Arjun asked. "People may laugh or they may not, but think of it this way: what matters more, what they think for a moment or the chance to improve for the rest of your life? The more you practice, the better you will get. Everyone stumbles at first." Arjun thought about this and decided to give it a try. His cousin gave him a fun task. "Start small," he said. "Every morning when you are doing your daily chores, speak aloud in English. Don't worry if you make mistakes. There's no one around to judge you." Arjun felt a bit awkward at first, talking to himself in English while milking the cows and cutting the crops. He used simple phrases: "I am going to the field," or "Today is a beautiful day." He even started naming the tools he used in English. Slowly, the words felt less foreign and more familiar. Each day, he pushed himself a little more, speaking longer sentences, trying new words, and even laughing at his own mistakes. One afternoon, while working with his father, Arjun noticed some tourist family visiting their village. They seemed lost, and Arjun's father was trying to help them. But the language barrier was causing confusion. Arjun felt a surge of confidence. Without thinking twice, he approached the family and asked in simple, clear English, "Can I help you?" The family smiled, grateful and surprised. Arjun guided them to their destination, speaking slowly and carefully. For the first time, he didn't feel that familiar wave of hesitation. When they thanked him, his heart swelled with pride. From that day on, Arjun became bolder. He started speaking English with his friends, even though they laughed sometimes. He asked questions at the local market in English and even started writing down new words he heard to use them later. His small village didn't have an English speaking community, but Arjun created his own environment using whatever tools he had. He practiced with his cousin over the phone, watched educational videos online, and repeated affirmations to himself. "I can do this." Months passed and Arjun's confidence soared. He no longer feared making mistakes because he knew each mistake was a step toward improvement. He realized that hesitation was just fear dressed up in excuses, and the only way to overcome it was to face it head on. One day, when a group of students from the city visited a village for a project, Arjun not only welcomed them but also gave a brief introduction about his village in English. His father, who had once doubted his son's ability to speak this foreign language, watched with pride as Arjun confidently interacted with the visitors. And that's the beauty of Arjun's story. He didn't have a fancy school or an expensive course. He didn't need to be perfect. What Arjun had was determination, patience, and the courage to try again and again. If you ever feel like Arjun did, remember this. The only way to grow is to step out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Embrace them. They are your stepping stones to become a strong, confident speaker. As the saying goes, a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. Keep practicing, keep trying, and soon you will find your own voice. And always remember, confidence doesn't come from being perfect, it comes from being brave enough to try. You will one day become a confident speaker as like Arjun. See you in the next story.